Guys, it is finally here. Now guys, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. Not the biggest fan you've ever seen, but I do love the movies. I watched them multiple times. But I am, more of a Marvel superhero kind of guy, DC, and I kind of like Star Trek just a little bit more. Oh my god, okay, oh my god. So guys, Star Wars The Force Awakens is a movie directed by J.J. Abrams, which has just come out, and now I'm here to review it. So, right off the bat, the movie begins with a huge action sequence, starring Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron, and we are introduced to Kylo Ren and Captain Phasma. Now, these characters are very big, except for Captain Phasma, who is severely underutilized in this movie. That's just one of the little minor gripes I have with this movie. So, Oscar Isaac is Poe Dameron. He's not in the movie as much as the other protagonists, but he's still in the movie a lot. And his acting, the performance Oscar Isaac gives for Poe Dameron is great. He's such a confident, really nice guy that you just can't hate him. And it's just really, really well acted. He's really confident. It feels like this character, Poe Dameron, is going to be the next Han Solo for this new generation of Star Wars movies. Now, I will tell you, this movie does have comedy right at the beginning. There's an intense action scene, and then right after, something funny. And now, that's what's good about this movie. The comedy that's integrated into this intense sequence, it doesn't feel forced. It feels really alive and really real, and something that this character would say. It's not like a Transformers movie where there's comedy everywhere and it just really doesn't fit, or Thor: The Dark World where Loki dies and right after they make a joke. No, it's really, really grounded, and the writing is just superb here. Now we're also introduced to Daisy Ridley as Rey, and now this character is really, really well written. It's really well acted. This character, you feel like this character is an actual being. You don't think of, okay, look, Daisy Ridley is basically an unknown actress. So that they cast her for Rey, you don't think of her as any other person than Rey. And this is great because this character is really its own thing. You don't know her backstory very much, and you just see her as the present, as this own character. And the performance Daisy Ridley gives for this character, it's so emotional, it's so grounded, so real, and the arc the character goes, it's really, really well done. And I will commend Daisy Ridley for this acting, because she steals the show the entire time. Every scene she's in, she steals the show. Sometimes, she steals the show and she's not even in a scene. It's that crazy. John Boyega's performance of Finn is funny, and it's really, really energetic and charismatic. And you can tell this guy loves being in this movie. In every scene he's in, and if he's even in an intense scene, you can just feel the energy just pouring out of him, because this guy, he knows he's in a Star Wars movie, and he loves it. And his chemistry with Rey is also one of the highlights of the movie. They have a lot of chemistry, and they just bounce off each other. It's great. It's like you're seeing these two real people, well, they're characters, but these two real people interacting with each other and saying things that they should be saying. They're never really out of character in any way. Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher are also back, and they play Han Solo and Princess Leia, or should I say General Leia. Now, these two, of course, have a lot of chemistry because they've already been in 3 movies together, and the chemistry is still there. Problem. There's a performance in the movie, there's a scene where she should be really emotionally affected. I can't say because this is a spoiler-free review. And everyone, the entire cast, is emotionally affected by this thing that's happening. And she's just like, oh yeah. Oh well, whatever. It's literally like that. Her acting is really one of the weak parts of this movie. She's still, I mean, it's great, it's nostalgic, I mean, it's General Leia, it's Leia, but her acting is not the best. It could have been better, but another minor gripe. We also have Lupita Jones as Maz Kanata and Andy Serkis as Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, Supreme Leader Snoke, you have no idea who this guy is, but he's all CGI. And Maz Kanata, you definitely know who she is, and she's also all CGI. Now, here's the problem. Snoke is all CGI, again, motion capture by Andy Serkis, and he's always in the shadows. This character, you don't know who he is. I'm not going to spoil anything. Not that anything is spoiled, because you really, honestly don't know who he is anyway. And he's always in the shadows. And he's always hidden by shadows. He's always in the darkness. So the CGI isn't really as noticeable, it's still very noticeable. Now, Maz Kanata is an entirely CGI character, and the CGI is just so obvious. And what's good about this movie is also bad. There's so many practical effects in this movie that Maz Kanata just stands out because she's completely CGI. And what's even worse is that you get really close-up shots of her face, and you can tell it's all CGI, it's all fake. And if she's right next to a creature that's real, that's actually been made up there, and it's like a prop, and then you have a CGI character right next to it, there's no comparison. You think this thing is real, and this thing is fake. And that's a big problem with this character. Again, minor gripe, she's not really in the movie that much, but still, it's noticeable. It's noticeable, and that's something that kind of affects the movie for me. Now, Adam Driver plays Kylo Ren in this movie, and this character might be the most controversial character here. And why is he so controversial? Why do so many people love the character, and why do so many people hate the character? Now, there's basically two versions of Kylo Ren in this movie. No spoilers on what happens, but at the beginning he's really tough, and at the end he's kind of like a spoiled child. Why is that not really necessarily bad? Because Adam Driver's performance as Kylo Ren is really, really well performed. It's really well acted. It's really well executed. It's really well done completely. The problem is, people were expecting this character to be Darth Vader version 2. He's not. He's an actual character with emotions and with feelings. You can even tell by when he speaks with his helmet on, it's an actual person. It's not like Darth Vader's booming voice. Still, the character is very driven and motivated, and that's what makes him a good character, because you can feel for the character. There's a point where you stop feeling for him, but I mean, he's really well written, and you can tell that this is an actual human being with feelings and motivations, and you start to feel bad for him almost at some points. He really wants to be the next Darth Vader, and the thing is, he knows he's not, but he tries so hard to be. The story is great, though. It's really, really well crafted, and there are parts that feel like A New Hope version 2, and they just kind of reskinned A New Hope, but still, it's really, really well done. You have all these new characters that you're getting invested in, and it's really great. Now, there are subplots that aren't explored, and it gets really frustrating, but the thing is, that's fine because there's going to be sequels. Now, if those subplots aren't explored in the sequels, then there's a problem, right? But still, there's going to be sequels, so there's still things that aren't answered, that are going to be answered later. There are parts in this movie that it feels like they're using the nostalgia factor too much. They're playing the nostalgia card way too many times. Instead of building up a scene with actual real emotion and stuff, you get, oh look, cameos, and these characters, they're coming back, yay, instead of like actual build-up. And they really play this a lot. There's a lot of throwbacks and a lot of references here. Now, this is good for the people who have seen the original trilogy, but this might not be good for newcomers to the movie. People who are just seeing Star Wars for the first time, they're going to be like, what the heck is happening? At some parts, there are some parts that they will be genuinely confused. Now, some of the best parts of the movie, the effects. The effects are magnificent. There are parts where you just can't differentiate CGI and reality, and there are so many practical effects. It's great to see it, because a lot of these aliens that you see are completely fake, but they're props. They're not CGI, and it looks really real. And what's fantastic is BB-8. He's all prop. He's a real thing that you can grab, and that's so good. He has actual feelings and emotions, and he's really funny. He's like the comedy relief of the movie, and he's not annoying, though. He's not annoying. He really hits all the marks with the comedy without going overboard, and that's really good. J.J. Abrams' direction is really, really well done. There's only like 3 lens flares. There's not that many lens flares in this movie, which is good, so he's learning, and it's really well directed, well shot. There's establishing shots, long shots, far shots. The action scenes, they're not quick cut, and the action scenes are very intense and real. They don't feel really choreographed, which is something that people were annoyed by in the prequels. So guys, this movie, the story is superb. The acting is flat out fantastic. The effects are friggin' groundbreaking. They're really, really well done and really well integrated. It's really seamless, except for a few characters. And it's just really, really a good experience at the movies that you just have to see this movie. It's an event movie. You have to see it. It's like when the prequels came out, that was an event movie too. Now those movies actually turned out to be bad, but this one actually turned out to be good. Now this movie does have flaws, but the light side, of course, beats the dark side. And this movie, I'm going to have to give a rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars. Hey guys, it is finally here. Now guys, I'm just here to inform you that I'm not making this up. I'm being told that Star Trek is amazing. Now guys, I was just kidding about the Star Trek thing. I love Star Wars. Please, I love Star Wars. It's amazing. It's the best thing ever. Please, don't even hurt me. Please, I'm serious. I'm serious. Star Wars is the best thing ever, and I'm gonna review it. I'm not being told to say this by anyone. Look, I'm just gonna go on with the review, okay? I'm just gonna go on with the review.